Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Smashbrush and it feels so nice to be here recording today, and as promised, today I'm going to be talking about the all-new TATI Beauty Blendiful. This is actually my update video. I did do like a full-on tutorial review and all of that about like 2 weeks ago or so, and I said in that video that I wanted to do a complete update, so like once I've been using it for more than just one time, rather than just the first impressions how it was then. I wanted to do like a full-on update as far as like what my thoughts are, if anything has changed, and there are certain things that have changed. There is obviously new information that I have been able to gather and collect, and all for the purpose of sharing it to you guys today. So if this is something you guys are interested in, then just keep watching, and without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so I've had a lot of people ask me a lot of different things, and I kind of wanted to put them out to test. For the past couple of weeks, I have been trying out both of these guys. I started like making a list, right, of things where I'm like, oh, I realized this is for this and this is for that. It's a somewhat lengthy list, but not really all that lengthy. I'm gonna try to like not talk so much. That way I can give you guys the quick information, tell you the tea, and not overextend this video. So the one thing that I do think that the Blendiful really is great for is to apply your foundation really quickly. The material of this is honestly so beautiful, but primarily I think that because of how flexible this is, it's like you're able to get into everything so much easier and faster. I have noticed that you can definitely achieve a nice full coverage with this as opposed to like a sponge. I love sponges, but I do think that it does absorb a little bit more product as opposed to this one. This one, it doesn't, there's really nothing for it to absorb into. Initially, I would say that it does kind of get like on the other side of the hair a little bit, but you can honestly get definitely more use out of your product by using this versus a sponge. Just my opinion. Hey buddy, my dog's here and he wants to say hi to you guys. Here. Ugh. Say hi. He's whooping. He's got his hair whooping now. Right, buddy? Look, say hi to them. Say hi to the camera. Say hi to the camera, buddy. Well, he's a little mini schnauzer. There you go. Say hi, buddy. So every time I start recording, like he loves to interrupt me and just like get on top of my leg, and he's like, what are we doing? Oh, Shadow. So back to what I was saying, besides being able to apply the foundation really quickly, it also blends out so nice. I find that like it leaves the skin looking so smooth, and I am definitely one that has like texture and little bumps like all over my face. My skin is just so sensitive that I break out. This does a really good job to make the foundation look really nice and smooth and beautiful. The one thing that is kind of like a con for me, may not be a con for someone else, but I do feel that it does give you a little bit more of a matte feel coverage type of thing. But a really quick and easy kind of like fix for that is just once you're done with everything, just put kind of like a dewy spray or something like of that sort, and then your skin is like revived and back to normal and things like that. That's just if you don't like that matte kind of finish. So something that I actually recently discovered using the Blendiful, while I was doing that first recording, I was using it, and then I was just like, oh my gosh, wait, this other side has the same material too. I can use it too. And you totally can. So you not only have one side, you have a double side. Literally this can be flipped right over and bam, a whole new clean side. For me personally, I feel like I can use this about a good 3 times without having to wash it or anything, which I think is amazing. So it's not as bad as like some people say, where it's like, oh my gosh, it feels like such a high maintenance product. It's not. And even with a sponge, you have to wash it. You know, if you want the best result, if you want something that's good for your skin, that's just kind of what you have to do. Also, I have tried using the Blendiful while the product was already dirty. Yeah, yeah, it does not apply the same way. I do not recommend it. I don't know if some people can do it. That's just my preference and take on that. I just feel like it definitely dries out the hairs. But with that, I did leave it dirty for a couple of days. I had actually someone in the comments ask me, like, she said, oh, can you check what would happen if you were to leave the makeup like sit and dry without having to clean it? Because reality is that most of us do our makeup early in the morning, you know, do our makeup, then go ahead and wash it, and then get ready and all of that. No, we're just all like makeup, 1, 2, 3, and then we have to head out the door, right? So I did try that, and it didn't really affect my Blendiful. When I had to wash it, I would just say that I had to not like hard scrub on, but I did have to concentrate a little bit more in the area that I did leave it kind of dry off, like the foundation dry off. So it's not like the end of the world if you leave it dry off. Okay, so now when it comes to the hygiene part of the Blendiful, I mainly hand wash this rather than like throw it into a machine. I personally like to use a laundry detergent. I just feel like it's very clean and it just kind of takes everything away a whole lot faster. You can use hand soap if you wanted to, according to TATI. And I also did try using brush cleaner, which honestly, it did such an amazing job as well. Like, they have those shampoos if you wanted to use that. Basically, the biggest thing is just you want to make sure that you're not like scrunching it up or anything like that. Now, when it comes to the drying process, you have 2 options. So you can honestly just like pat it between like a towel or something. And then after that, I used a blow dryer. A blow dryer really doesn't mess it up. I just wouldn't recommend putting it so close or like touching it. But I definitely use a blow dryer, and I feel like the whole cleaning process took me probably like about 4 to 5 minutes. So it does take a little bit longer than it would to a sponge, only because you do now have to worry about drying it. One, the hairs look really different, and it's gonna make it look like, oh my gosh, my Blendiful is ruined. It doesn't look the same way as how I bought it. So just make sure that you are drying both sides of like the hairs, the fur, whatever you want to call it. When I use the blow dryer, I would just, you know, put the blow dryer straight on it, but then I kind of like use my nails or like my fingers or whatever and just kind of like brush it through the hairs, and then I would dry the other side. Just because if you were to just use the blow dryer straight through, it's kind of like just drying the top of it and not like the very inside of it. I do not recommend using this wet. I had to try it out just because we're just so used to having to wet our sponges. You know, just out of curiosity, I'm like, hey, what if I wet this? Would it just like make it better? It didn't. I think that like when I wet it, I just felt like the hairs, again, they all kind of like bunch up together. And then when I would apply it on my face, it was just like very streaky. Although I do think you still can achieve like a blended look, it won't look as beautiful as when it's dry, and it'll also make your foundation a whole lot more lightweight. Again, just took longer. I don't know, it just wasn't cute. So, I mean, unless you like more of that tinted moisturizer type of look, I guess you can use it that way, but you just have to stay there a little bit longer blending it out, blending out those streaks. Someone in my Blendiful video review did ask me if they would recommend me using this in my kit. I don't think I would use it in the kit, only because with one Blendiful you get 3 uses out of it, but I would suggest that only if you're using it on one person. Like for me, I can get 3 uses out of this, but I'm not gonna go ahead and use one side and then on the other side I'm gonna use it for someone else, and then in the middle I'm gonna use it for someone else, because I just don't think that's very hygienic, and then they're probably gonna be like, ew, did you use that Blendiful on someone else? I mean, unless you're gonna buy like 10 of them and have them there clean and ready to go at all times, then I mean, I don't see why that's a bad, you know, I don't see how that's a bad thing. I'm okay with what I'm using right now, and it's just one of those things where it's all like, don't fix what's not broken. How do you say that, babe? Don't fix what's broken?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Again, I don't think that one is better or worse. I think in general though, I'm just way more used to using a sponge, and I like that hydrating feeling that goes with applying my foundation with. These are just 2 very different products that can both achieve the same thing. In the end, it just is really all a matter of preference. For me personally, I love this. Now this is just for me. If If you like it for other things, that's on you. But for me personally, I love this to apply my foundation. For concealer, I'm really not too much of a fan on it. I feel like I really have to blend away, and sometimes it does remove a little bit. I don't know, I'm not too crazy on how it applies my concealer. Yes, I can get it to do it. I just feel like it takes me a little bit longer. But I love this, again, for foundation. I love it for baking, and I love it to apply like highlighting powders around the face, even the highlighter. I think just powders in general, I really like how this applies through it, but mainly what I've been using have been for those three things. And the little guy, a lot of people asked me to do an update on this one as well. I would say that this is definitely more of a touch-up product. I know that's what like some people say it was meant for, but TATI and other people have used this for actually just applying throughout the whole face and using it to do their makeup. So there really is no limit to what you can do. Like there's no rules when it comes to like certain tools. And honestly, just tools in general, because makeup is just one of those things that you can use however you want to use it, as long as it works for you. What I have been using this for is once I finish like with my entire face, I kind of just like go right through it, and I feel like it really nicely smooths out everything. Like it just kind of gives it like this nice blurring effect. But I think like if someone has like a lot of like creasing issues, I think this would be really nice, because like I said, in general, like after I was done with my makeup, I just kind of just went like this all over. And I'm telling you, it gave it such a beautiful blurring effect. And guys, that is basically everything I have to say about these two. I just wanted to be as informative and give you guys this update. I felt like it's been a minute. This video was supposed to be up a couple of weeks ago, but you know, sometimes life happens, work happens, things get busy, and I am sometimes a one-woman show when it comes to a lot of things. I have to record, I have to edit, and I also have to work and emails and stuff like that. I don't want to bombard you guys with all of that, but sometimes it can get a little bit difficult for me to like sit down and record and do everything I have to do. But I am definitely trying to work more towards having things like pre-recorded, that way they can be up and I can at least have like a video or two a week. That is what like my goal is for this year. Let's see how that goes. I do have a couple of other videos for this week actually, so I'm sorry if I'm gonna be posting like back to back to back. Yeah, it's just that just means I've got ideas flowing and I need them up. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you guys for sticking around, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also follow me on Instagram. It is @Smashbrush_ at the very end, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.